Calaroga Shark Media.
Hey there, basement dwellers. It's your host, Journey Joe Mitchell, back with another deep dive into the galaxy far, far away. Today we're unpacking episode 5 of The Acolyte, aptly titled Night. And holy Sith, did this one deliver the goods? First off, let's address the bantha in the room, that Sith reveal. Our suspicions were confirmed as Qimir turned out to be the mysterious masked master. While some might say this was predictable, I think the real surprise was how epic the reveal scene played out. Manny Jacinto really brought his A-game, transitioning from goofy sidekick to menacing Sith Lord in the blink of an eye. That moment when his mask comes off and we see those piercing eyes? Chills, folks. Absolute chills. Now let's talk about the action. This episode was basically one long, gorgeously choreographed lightsaber battle, and I am here for it. The fight scenes were kinetic, intense, and beautifully shot. The show's creators weren't kidding when they said they wanted to top the Darth Maul duel from The Phantom Menace. While that's a high bar, I'd say they came pretty darn close. The way Qimir, or should we call him Daemon now, moved was unlike anything we've seen from a Force user before. It was unpredictable, almost feral, and it really drove home how different the Sith fighting style is from the Jedi's. We also got some shocking deaths this episode. Poor Jecki and Yord, we hardly knew ye. Daphne Keen's Jecki in particular went out in a blaze of glory. That moment when Qimir stabbed her 3 times with his hidden Shodo saber? Brutal, but so effective in establishing the stakes. While these deaths packed a punch, I can't help but wish we'd had more time with these characters in earlier episodes. It might have made their demises even more impactful. The episode did a great job of ramping up the tension throughout. From the eerie atmosphere of the nighttime Khofar jungle to Qimir's creepy entrances and exits, everything worked together to create a sense of dread and excitement. Michael Abel's score, while not quite reaching John Williams' levels, did a solid job of enhancing the mood. One thing that stood out to me was the use of Cortosis armor. This deep-cut reference to Star Wars lore was a nice touch for us hardcore fans, and it added an interesting wrinkle to the lightsaber combat. It's always fun to see elements from the expanded universe make their way into live-action Star Wars. Let's break down some of the smaller moments that really stood out. May's callback to Osha's bad blocking from their childhood training. Nice bit of continuity there. The scene where the precise lightsaber duel between Saul and Qimir devolves into an all-out brawl. It felt raw and desperate in all the right ways. Osha's sacrifice of Pip to save everyone. Pour one out for our little droid buddy. The way May changed her gait when approaching Sol as Osha. Amandla Stenberg is really selling this dual role. Now, I've got to address some of the criticisms I've been seeing online. Yes, the twin swap at the end was a bit predictable, and you'd think Saul would be able to sense the difference between Osha and May. Some folks have also been complaining about the pacing of the series up to this point, and I get it. The first 4 episodes were a slow burn, but I think this episode justifies that buildup. All that tension finally exploded in this epic confrontation, and it felt earned. I also want to give a shout out to the visual effects team. The lightsaber work in this episode was top-notch. The way they lit up the misty jungle? Gorgeous. And Qimir's mask? Seriously, can we talk about how cool that thing is? One thing that's still bugging me is the mystery around what exactly happened on Brendok. Both Qimir and May keep alluding to it without actually spilling the beans. I'm hoping we get some answers soon because at this point, the teasing is getting a bit frustrating. Overall, I think this episode was a major step up for The Acolyte. It delivered on the action front while still moving the plot forward in interesting ways. We're finally seeing the Sith in action during this era, and it's as terrifying as we hoped it would be. I'm excited to see where the show goes from here, especially now that May is masquerading as Osha. That's all for this week, Star Wars fans. Until next time, may the Force be with you, and keep your lightsabers charged and your basements full of lively TV discussions. This is Journey Joe, signing off from the depths of the TV dungeon. See you next time!